We are in the framework of the celebration of the 400th anniversary of the founding of the beautiful city of Bucaramanga. For this event, different cattle ranches have been summoned in a center known as Senfer. The Angus and Brangus Association is present with a Brangus exhibition of a high level. There is more and more homogeneity and a great capacity to show all the Colombian and South American public that in Brangus we are on the rise. The tendency is to improve a lot the proposal that we have with an advantage. Let's say, we have to take advantage of it. It is the adaptation we have to the tropic. We are really surprised, because we presented a not very abundant number of animals nor very reduced, but the quality was the one that demonstrated the excellent level. As I just said, the important thing that the association wants to do in these events and in the low tropic is to demonstrate that the Colombian Brahma is very good to make an association and a fusion with the Angus. Because what we are seeing with the excellent Brahma in Colombia is the adaptation of both the Brahma breed that is recognized and the adaptation of the Angus for so many years that we have been present in Colombia. It is not in vain the Brangus that we have at this moment is the product of a genetics that was imported a long time ago from Argentina and the USA, and that is being refreshed with new genetics, especially from Argentina and very little from the USA. But the proposal that we have from Argentina, the phenotype that Argentina offers us, the genotype that Argentina has, is perhaps what best fits the needs of this very aggressive climate, let's call it that way, because even people also think of the heat, but there is a humidity with these very aggressive rainy climates that we have seen that this Brangus has behaved very well. About 2 years ago the association took seriously the work of mitigating the negative effect of cattle raising on the environment, a negative effect that is more a myth than a reality. We are talking today about sustainable cattle raising, friendly and respectful of the environment. Where we want to demonstrate that the processes or companies that are dedicated to livestock farming, what they do is to capture CO2 from the environment by renewing pastures. Obviously there are exceptions in this program cannot be used to talk about exceptions. Let's talk about the majority. The farmer today is very conscious of preserving forests, water sources. The employees or the people around us are always aware, today and tomorrow, of being respectful and kind to the environment. There is also efficiency there, and how we manage that efficiency and strength. That is why the genetics we use both in Angus and Brangus is to look for the strengths of those breeds, which is Angus and that breed Brahma, because we have to use fertility, we have to look for calving ease, fattening ease, sexual precocity, and so on.
Muchísimas gracias por este espacio.
Thank you very much for this space. The truth is that we are very grateful to the Bucaramanga Fair for being able to carry out this event. We really wanted to come back.
Teníamos muchas ganas de estar de nuevo en esta plaza que la verdad es icónica para nosotros.
We really wanted to be back in this square, which is really iconic for us. We have to thank the regional committee of Bucaramanga and Caesar, because without them we would not have been able to organize this fair. This fair came out of one of the meetings we have with our committees, and almost on time we managed to organize among the associates and between us and send for the participation.
La participación. No tuvimos mucho tiempo, pero pues afortunadamente.
We did not have much time. Fortunately the committee members put on their shirts, took out the animals, prepared the animals, and fortunately at this moment we have.
Acabamos de culminar nuestra participación en pista y tenemos un stand.
We have just finished our participation in the show ring, and we have a stand which we will have open to the public until next weekend, so it is a great Achievement for the association and for the regional committee to be again in this great place. We had the participation of 39 animals of excellent quality that stepped on the track, animals that are seen from 5 stud farms.
Cuatro de acá de la región del comité.
4 from here in the region of the committee and a cattle ranch that came from Antioquia, which we thank for their participation and their commitment to carry out this event to sponsor and make this place much more visible, and here we want to go with our heads held high. Making very good sales of our specimens, showing that our genetics continues to conquer the commercial cattle ranches and purebred cattle ranches in the region, and that we have a quality material so that the crosses that are made at national level with our breeds respond, and in a quality meat and animals with outstanding productive and reproductive indexes. That is the goal of our association, that is the vision of our association, to show the cattlemen that they have a tool to produce the best meat in the world in Colombia and to pasture. This leaves us with a pleasant lesson, and it is that by uniting all of us with our shoulders to the wheel, we manage to have quality exhibitions, we manage to show quality animals. We manage to give the cattleman that commercial showcase that he needs, so that the commercial cattle ranching of this country knows that here in Santander the best meat in the world is being produced and the best specimens and animals for sale are being produced. As it is known, 25 years ago the association began with an American base. We started with an export of animals from the USA. The American cattle exported from the USA, which marked a productive video type for that time, a video type that marked the Americans with a high frame, a frame that is out of the conditions that we have in Colombia under grazing, and little by little the association has been instilling in the cattlemen, showing them the genetic advances that Argentina is making, which is growing by leaps and bounds with both Angus and Brangus, so we have been starting to make those crosses between bloods, where we are looking to reduce the size of our animals, to give them that rib arch that is so necessary for the animals to transform the nutrients of the pasture, and this has translated into better weight gain, in better reproductive ability, in better reproductive ability, in better reproductive ability, in better weight gain. Better support when calving, so we have been working with these crosses with Argentinian. We have also been working a lot on the issue of musculature. We know that those first quality cuts that are in the loins and hindquarters are the ones we need to develop to show cattlemen that they can get quality meat and very well paid meat from those hindquarters, and that pistol cut, which is so much sought after. We have worked hard to include that blood and that Argentinian blood, and then get that quality of animals that we have been showing. A big thank you to all the Bumangueses for having received us in Bucaramanga, in the beautiful city of Colombia, really very nice. We are very proud to have participated, that we have been invited to come to their land. All the Bumangueses and all the partners that the association has here in Bucaramanga, since they are many very important, very dear, which have always accompanied us, in Antioquia, in Llano Grande. It is a great honor for us and a great satisfaction to have been here and to have won the awards that we won, the effort of a few years of my 3 partners Ricardo Bedoya, Miguel Vargas and Federico Kopp, who founded Corona Angus Brangus 3 years ago. A great friend said, "And you, why do not you name the livestock instead of Corona the pandemic?" Because this was formed in the pandemic. Is that he Brangus? Is a synthetic cattle, which was formed a few years ago in the US, which is a 5/8 Angus cross. That is a crossbreed 5/8 Angus, 3/8 Brahma, and is a special cattle for the Colombian tropical land.
Caliente, húmeda, que es donde está.
Humid hot low land, which is where Bucaramanga is, Caesar, here with Freddy, all are big and important cattle ranchers of Caesar and the cattle of Caesar, Cordoba, Valledupar, the eastern plains. It is also a very important area of Brangus breeders, and it is a breed
Que se cruza con el Angus, con el Brahman, perdón.
That is crossed with the Brahma and gives an exceptional quality of meat that the results speak for themselves.
Los pesos, la calidad de carne que da el Brangus.
Weight, the quality of meat that gives the Brangus the weight gain, the females, the fertility of the females.
Son hembras que a los 60, 90 días están.
They are females that are pregnant 60 to 90 days after calving. That gives a great power to the fertility of the Brahman cattle.
Del ganado Brahman, que el ganado Brahman pare.
The Brahma cattle calve and 5-6 months go by and they cannot get pregnant. In the Brangus at 3 months they should be pregnant, and that is what helps the cattleman to produce offspring. There is a very famous saying that goes, cab stopped, does not
Genera flete. Vaca vacía no da ternero.
generate freight, empty cow, does not give calf, and the cattleman lives from the calf. We were great champions with females, great champions reserved with males, best exhibitor and best offspring of a cow.
Lo más importante,
The most important thing is the company of all the people who attended.
del departamento de Antioquia que vienen nos acompañan, nuestro
From the Department of Antioquia who come with us, our president of the Angus and Brangus Association of Colombia. The most important thing is the company to show the product, the quality that has been presented year after year, and the improvement of the brand positioning as the Brangus breed.
sus cruces, y es la verdad
The crossbreeding and its crosses, and it is the truth that satisfies us and fills us with pride for our breed to offer everyone the most important meat breed worldwide.
de esta feria muy importantes.
The results of this fair are very important. We have been working with this breed for 18 years. We started with the first crosses from the USA, now we have crossbreeding with Argentinian genetics. We have some important blood clashes today. We have several championships. We have the reserved calf champion, the intermediate champion, the reserved grand champion, and the grand champion of the fair. The most important thing is the satisfaction as a cattle ranch. It is the work and effort of 18 years of work, in which we have been presenting year after year our genetic effort in the Brangus breed.
En este momento,
At this moment, in our 18 years we made the first crossings with American Brangus.
hicimos las primeras generaciones también aquí con nuestro Brahman de Colombia.
We made the first generations also here with our Brahma of Colombia, which is one of the most important Brahma worldwide. We made the broken ones, the crossings of the 3/4, the half-bloods, and we reached the 3/8 first generation. Product of this is important, our great champion of the breed. Product of an Argentinian bull called Cambiazzo, with a first-generation mother. The mother is a very important cow of the breed for us, cow 288, a supremely important cow, made in a pastoral way, as we like our cows at 38 degrees centigrade and with a relative humidity of 80% annual average, where there is zero comfort.
No hay confort en ninguna época del año.
There is no comfort at any time of the year, and that is what satisfies us the most. The products made from the tropics are working, and we want to offer these products at national and international level. We have presence at this moment in Colombia, which is our headquarters. We also have genetic presence in the Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Panama at the moment, and our headquarters also in South Florida.
Y nuestra sede también en el sur de la Florida.
At the moment we have the presence of our specimens acquired from the best cattle ranches in the United States.
Para poder hacer el cruzamiento.
And we also have a presence in the United States.USA.
Como el sur de América y de Argentina. Nosotros actualmente hacemos
We currently have our own cattle acquired from the best cattle ranches in the USA in order to be able to crossbreed with our Colombian cattle and bring genetics from North America as well as from South America and Argentina. salt and water, is the most important thing we do year after year. We prepare a sample as such. But the sample does not exceed more than 3% of the population of which we currently use in our current livestock population.
Nuestro ganado en su totalidad, su gran mayoría, el 97%.
Our cattle in its entirety, it's the vast majority of 97% worked at 100% to grass, salt and water.
Esta exposición de Brangus.
This Brangus exhibition that we carried out here at the Bucaramanga Fair with its 400 years, has really gone very well. We are very happy for us as 4K or Brangus cattle. It has been a learning process more or less. In 2018 we started to compete in tracks. Today in 2022 we have traveled a path of learning, and today we have had a supremely important result.
Supremamente importante, donde ya hemos logrado,
where we have already achieved several first places, some category championships. We are leaving with several ribbons. We leave happy, we leave looking towards the future, and also something very important is that the breed continues to position itself very well. Business is being done, there are people interested in the bulls, because people are already realizing how important genetic improvement is, and that is what we are showing here in the tracks. What we strive to do better, because it really highlights the qualities of our Brangus breed, which is the #1 producer of beef. The preparation to come to the fair begins a few months in advance. Although this is really the final process, every animal, in order to have a correct performance,
debe empezar a prepararse desde la gestación.
A correct development must begin to be prepared from gestation, that is, from the time the cow is pregnant. If the pregnant cow does not have a good feeding, it is impossible to have a good calving, and it is impossible to raise a good calf. And after the calf is developing, one selects it in certain stages. There are calves that are selected a little before weaning. At weaning comes a much more demanding selection. Later, between 15 and 18 months, when we already have an improvement or a notorious development, especially in terms of fertility, we make another selection.
Basados en esa selección que vamos viendo qué es lo mejor.
Based on that selection we see that it is the best, especially in terms of fertility and weight gain. When we have already chosen the animals that come to the fair, we start with a special diet and with a preparation to know how to work with the head. The handler has to be attentive, how he has to raise his hand, how he has to put his head, how he has to position his head, because the animal has to present itself correctly. There are two things then. One is to prepare for the show, how to prepare, how to walk, how to look beautiful. But before that, in our cattle raising we make a selection for efficiency to really bring the best.
Esta es la vitrina comercial. Sí, esta es la vitrina comercial.
This is the commercial showcase. We all have our businesses in the farms. There are those who have only breeding or fattening, or only purebred, only genetics. There are those who have the complete cycle. But finally it is in the fairs where we all meet. We measure ourselves with our peer colleagues to know in what we must improve, and who are also ahead of us, to see how we can use their genetics. And in this showcase is where we do most of the business, because it is where the buyers come.
Esta vez nos encontramos desde la ciudad bonita Bucaramanga.
This time we are from the beautiful city of Bucaramanga in a regional fair where we are doing presents as Corona Angus Brangus. We had some very good results today.
El día de hoy en juzgamiento, en donde pudimos mostrar toda la calidad.
In judging, where we could show all the quality of our genetics and how we have been advancing in this short time. There have been very few runs of Corona livestock in tracks. We have been doing too well. We have been incorporating a very abused Brangus. Very functional, a Brangus that allows us to offer to all producers in the tropics under our genetics, and demonstrate that the Angus and Brangus breeds are still predominant for meat production. Being the most efficient at national level, with an excellent adaptation, with a very short hair, and with all the other productive characteristics that we have been improving to offer you always the best genetics, where you can find both in Corona
Tanto en Corona como en Marca,
and in brands the best breeders to use in your breeding and cross-breeding of wombs in the high and low tropics.
Alto y en Trópico Bajo. Es muy muy importante que nosotros vengamos a todos estos eventos.
It is very important that we come to all these events, that we are present throughout the country to be able to demonstrate to all producers that these breeds adapt to any altitude, whether Angus in the middle or higher tropics and Brangus in the lower tropics. We in either of the two cattle ranches, both in Crown and Angus, can offer excellent animals of excellent quality with excellent genetic and genomic support for all of you.
Genómico para todos ustedes.
Muy buenas expectativas traía y la verdad.
I had very good expectations, and the truth is that they were fulfilled, an exhibition within the framework of a breed that has been developing very well throughout Colombia due to some characteristics
Que la hacen muy especial para el repoblamiento del hato bovino colombiano.
that make it very special for the repopulation of the Colombian high cattle, such as excellent reproductive performance, excellent performance in growth and animals with a very good final product for the Colombian market.
Mercado colombiano. En cuanto a la calidad de los ejemplares, absolutamente extraordinaria.
In terms of the quality of the specimens, absolutely extraordinary, Brangus. Cattle breeders in Colombia have been developing a judicious, quiet work very well focused on what is needed for the production of beef cattle in the Colombian tropics.
Tuve la oportunidad de ver hembras desde la etapa menor hasta la etapa adulta.
I had the opportunity to see females from the juvenile stage to the adult stage, very functional and
Las hembras tuve la oportunidad de tener en pista.
very characteristic quality in the breed at the end of the exercise of the females.
Mucha funcionalidad, con mucha calidad en su sistema mamario.
I had the opportunity to have on the track some females already calved with calves at foot.
Vacas de cría. Quisimos, con los conceptos aplicados en el juzgamiento,
We wanted, with the concepts applied in the judging, to bring the show cattle closer to the functional cattle of the pasture.
creo que esa es una misión importante nuestra como juez.
I believe that this is an important mission of ours as a judge, to leave a very clear message about the biotype that is closer to the cattle that really performs in the pasture. As for the males, it is also an important task to leave a clear message as to the ideal bull biotype for Colombia, moderate bulls in their size, with a lot of body volume, a lot of muscular expression,
De mucha expresión muscular, de una gran aptitud reproductiva.
with a great reproductive aptitude that can fulfill their function of reproducing and leave a base of improved females for the repopulation of the Colombian cattle herd.
Como socio de una empresa que lleva aproximadamente
As a partner of a company that has been a Crown partner for approximately 2 to 3 years, I feel very satisfied with the achievements we obtained here today at this fair. It is the first fair where we debuted with an important herd of animals.
y pudimos obtener el gran campeonato hembra,
We were able to obtain the Great Female Championship, the Great Reserve Championship, and other important titles, such as the offspring of the same cow or embryo transfer, achievements that in 2 years are many and that we hope to continue replicating. But the important thing is the objectivity that we are always looking for, friendly, respectful of the environment, and very efficient and profitable in livestock.